The roof raise was probably the biggest undertaking, with a raise of 10 inches.
One of my favorite spaces on the bus is the kitchen. The two bunks on this side do lift up. We have a little strap here that we pull up. Hey, we're the Reiffs. This is Joel and I'm Carrie. And this is our sons, Aiden, Hudson, and Oliver.
And we're traveling across the country in our 2004 International School Bus.
So welcome to the inside of the bus. I really like minimalist, clean lines. So we decided to go with white just to keep everything open and airy. We went with like a big open space here with a bar that can fold down. It's just like one easy click. It all folds down so we have more space. But most of the time it is up. Joel tends to like to work over in the corner here, and the boys will sit and do their schoolwork. Two of them will. And then Aiden will sit on the couch with like a little lap desk to do his schoolwork. So for the sofa, we designed it with extra storage underneath. So each one of the kids has their own little bin. Our rule was kind of like for toys to bring with. Whatever can fit into your bin is what you get to keep. If you fill your bin as we travel, then we just thrift it. And also we put in 3 seat belts into here for the boys while we travel. We also have a seat over in the corner there where I sit, and that also has a seat belt in it. One of the things that I really like is all the storage we have up here. Joel did a really good job with rounding the backs of these cabinets so that we could mount them up and have all this room. This boys' school books all fit up into here. We do have these nettings that I would highly recommend. Yeah, they just bump around. So we added these and it works really well. It also helps like keep things organized, like the smaller things for the kids. So that works out. So one of my favorite spaces on the bus is the kitchen. I love cooking and baking. I wanted a pretty big sink. So I researched quite a bit and found like the biggest RV style sink that I could. It's nice and deep, so I can fit a lot of dishes into there, actually more than you would think. And then over to the stove, I also found the largest RV stove that we could, and it's propane, which I was used to cooking on electric, but I really love the propane. It just cooks and bakes so much better. This is an apartment sized refrigerator. It is 120 volt. What we have done for when we travel is we put these child locks on because the doors tend to swing open if you don't have that on there. The top half is a freezer. I like to keep it stocked with lots of vegetables and lots of protein. With 3 growing boys, they do eat a lot. The way to keep it organized, in my opinion, is just really meal planning. That allows me to have exactly what I need on hand. It makes meals so much easier. Then we don't have excess stuff just sitting around. So yeah, we can stay off grid pretty much without any grocery stops for 7 to 10 days. For organizing, I went with the Caraway home cook, like their cooking set, just because they have such cool storage for like the lid holder on the door, and then in the cabinet they have like little stands that hold up all your pots and pans and things.
I have an interest in landscape photography, outdoor adventuring, and you know, even as we've been married, the early part of our years, we did not explore the outdoors much at all. And I guess my passion for photography started to push us outdoors. And as we explored Instagram and Facebook and saw a lot of the people traveling and the places that we have heard of in maybe like history textbooks or whatever, but we've never seen them and really don't know much about them. And so we really had a drive to explore those areas. So as we started doing some research, and even on Instagram we saw other people out there just starting to convert or traveling in converted school buses that really sparked an interest in us just to, it was something foreign to us, but it's like, wow, that's really neat. And that's kind of what we, I don't know, for some reason we just really latched onto that. And, as the years progress, we're still working on paying off college debt and just raising young children. And Carrie kind of kept pushing the mindset. It's not if we ever do this, it's when we do this. Probably one of the most difficult things for the build for us to learn and understand was the plumbing, since we had no prior knowledge of it. The way we're set up is underneath this side of the bed we have a 100-gallon freshwater tank, and we have the pump and the hot water heater also under there. So that takes care of all the plumbing and pressurizing. In the shower, we have the hot water, cold water coming through, and we have a small sink and then the composting toilet. So we have a separate sink just because we wanted to be able to wash our hands after going to the bathroom. And it's a small shower, and probably if anything we could have changed in the size of anything, or just the layout, it would have been the size of the bathroom itself. But it's manageable, it's functional, it works. And with the Nature's Head, it's peat moss that we put into the toilet, and every time we use it we have to spin it, and really it's been working really well for us. We have an air filter that just kind of dries it out and takes the stink out, and really we don't smell it that often. I mean, if we do catch a whiff of it, it's usually more of a peat moss smell than it is actually a sewage smell, and so we've been pretty happy with that. And then has the urine diverter, so the urine diverter, we just have to dump that out every couple days. And but overall we've been really happy with it. It's not as messy as what we thought it might be. So as part of the electrical system with the build, pretty much everything, the brains of it, is all in this cabinet. So we got 6 Battleborn batteries that are all 100 amp hours, and we have them wired together as a 24 volt system, and so that provides us 300 amp hours at 24 volts. Everything pretty much runs off of that, which is being powered by the 2,000 watts of solar on the roof. When we're driving down the road, we also have wiring connected to our bus batteries. So even on a cloudy day, with what we're using with the lights and appliances, we could probably get through about 3 days.
So this area is the kids' bunks. The boys each have their own separate bunk that they get to call their little space as we travel along here. I made them each a curtain that they can close. Each bunk is custom sized, and we got mattresses from custommattress.com.
Every time we do our ranger books, we get a badge. I store my badges of the parks and monuments up here.
This is where I have my noisemaker, and then my rocks are over here, and I'm going to try to collect posters and stuff to hang on my room wall once we're done living on the bus. And then down here I just have some knickknacks and stuff.
The 2 bunks on this side do lift up. We have a little strap here that we pull up, and that is where we keep like all our winter gear and our backpacking gear, extra clothing. The different seasons will switch things out there, so that works out nicely. So this is Joel and I's bedroom area. We wanted it bright and open, and we wanted to be able to see out to whatever view we're parked next to. So we kept as many of the windows as we could. Over here on this side, we covered the windows and had someone make this built-in storage area for us. It definitely helps just with keeping things organized. We have like a lot of our bigger puffy jackets and things down in the bottom half. That way they don't take up a lot of space in our closet. We have little bins up here for like our socks and things. I like to read, so I have my little book areas there. It works out really well. And surprisingly, as we drive along, I don't know if it's the way the angle of this is or what, but things don't normally fall out. We do have a curtain that we mounted up here. It just pulls down like that. It's very simple and basic, but it does give us some privacy. And the bed is a full-sized bed. We had the mattress custom made again from the custom mattress factory because it's not quite as thick as a normal mattress would be because we didn't want it to cover the windows. For our clothing storage, we do have 2 closets, one on the right here for the boys' clothes. They each have their own shelf. The bottom shelf does pull out on a pull-out tray. And then Joel and I have a skinny but really deep closet. As far as downsizing our wardrobes and things, it actually wasn't too hard for us, I don't think, because we are already more like minimalistic mindset. So yeah, it wasn't too bad, but I did realize we really don't even wear half the things we have with us. It just, you don't need it, so. Traveling as a family with 3 boys, they are full of energy. It is a lot of fun. I will say we do have our struggles, our days where, with homeschooling especially, this is our first year homeschooling, so we're kind of learning together, but we are learning. We're about 10 weeks into this travel lifestyle and about 7 weeks into the homeschooling. So we wanted to start early just so that we would have time to take off and explore like bigger national parks. We can take a whole week off if we want to, and we're a little ahead of schedule, so that works out well. Just with traveling with 3 boys, one of the most rewarding things is just like seeing their faces light up when they see something new, and just like the huge vast landscape and the mountains, and their reaction to that is like definitely my favorite part.
So for this school bus, it's a 2004 International. It has the T444E engine in it with the 3000 series Allison transmission. Currently we've been on the road for about 2 months, and so far we've been getting about 8 miles to the gallon with the bus, and it pulls pretty well. It's not a workhorse, but we've been taking it up over the mountains, and so far it's been doing well. We pull our Jeep Wrangler behind it with a Ready Brute towing bar system, and usually when we get to larger mountains we just disconnect it just to let the bus have a little bit more power and assist with the braking on the way down. So everything with this build we pretty much did ourselves, except any metal fabrication, which includes the installation, framing out for the RV door, raising the roof, mounting any of the propane holders underneath. The roof raise was probably the biggest undertaking, with a raise of 10 inches. Cut through where the wood panels are and up around, and we raised everything 10 inches just to give us a lot more clearance inside, and also to bring the bottom of the windows up above our countertops. All right, so the back of the bus, this is the emergency door that you would see in a typical school bus, and we kept it. And underneath me and Carrie's bed, we have half of it is for storage. So right now it's just kind of clutter, but every time we move we kind of organize and pack it away nicely. And some of the campfire stuff and our gear is in plastic bins, so we can just slip them out and put them back in. And yeah, it's just some odds and ends that we carry along the way just to keep outside, but we don't want necessarily keep them in the bus. So probably the single biggest project that we tackled was painting the bus. And what that looked like, obviously it was a yellow school bus before we started. And so that meant we had to tape everything that we didn't want to be painted white. And so we spent probably 12, 13, whatever hours it was, all 5 of us, taping everything, and then the painting itself took a few hours. We just spray painted it with an actual a commercial paint sprayer with white Rust-Oleum from Lowe's, and so far it's been holding up really well. You see a few chips along the way, but nothing that we can't spray bomb over it for a touch up, and it's been doing well for us. So the cost of our bus, the build entirely, I mean, the bus itself is $5,000. I mean, it was, you think, wow, that, you know, some people think that's expensive. Some people think that's fairly cheap. I mean, for what we bought it for, it felt like it was a good price. Overall, the build itself, we're estimating in the 70,000 range. So our initial budget was, we were kind of targeting 40 to 50, but even with everything that transpired with COVID and the prices of everything just up after that. And so we saw that with costs, especially the wood material, everything's built with plywood, but it's a higher grain birch plywood because it's a cleaner finish. And you know, there were times where we were spending almost $70 a sheet on just that. And so, but what we failed to realize when we built this was just little things that added up very fast, like even couch cushions and just to furnish everything. I mean, it was a few thousand just to furnish the bus. You know, it was definitely more than what we were expecting, because it's hard to think of just the little things. But part of it was like, okay, if we're doing this for this long, I mean, we wanted to make sure that we were going to be happy with what it was, like no regrets. And I think at this point, there wasn't any. All right, well, thank you for joining us along on this adventure, and we appreciate you guys checking out this video. We are living the high Reiff. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and we are starting YouTube, and all those links will be in the description below. And yeah, appreciate you guys, and we'll see you out there.
All right.
Bye.
See ya.